Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Amber Unfiltered. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about something that's probably controversial. I wanted to talk to you guys about artists who use AI or creatives who use AI. But before I do that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, if you want to cash at me at Amber Unfiltered Show, that'd be greatly appreciated. So, bitch, I don't know. I randomly came up with this. Oh, I'm gonna tell you how I came up with this topic. So, was it last week? I think it was last week because we just had spring break. Spring break was like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, okay. So I told you guys I work on this journal at my school. I'm not going to tell you which one until after the fact, but you guys could probably figure it out. But anyway, or don't figure it out. So I remember our faculty advisor was like, hey, you can rent kiosks. They call them kiosks, but they're really like tables or like little booths in one of the buildings on campus. And he was like, you just have to like put in a request and then they approve it. I had tried on my own. It didn't fucking work. It was a dud. So I was like, hey, can you do this for me? And he was like, yeah. So I had one of the girls on my team for the journal come with me and work it. So we had like a little table set up. We had like swag, there was like these little light bulb, like stress ball thingies, you know. I love little like tchotchkes or like little whatchamacallit things. Cause I always feel like I need to be doing something sensory with my hands. I'm a very like animated person. So we had some of those. We had like pens. I think we didn't have shirts. There was something else we had. But anyway, so we were sitting there and it was kind of a dead day. It was like a Thursday. I was like, damn, we probably should have picked a better day. But I was trying to get the word out, like a last minute push to get submissions. So I'm like, all right, cool. So me and her was just sitting there chopping it up. And this guy walks up and we were like, do you have any academic papers, any research papers, anything like that? Do you know that you think you did a good job on and you could submit for a publication, like for consideration? He was like, no, but I'm writing a book. And we were like, okay, well, what's your book about? Like we just started probing and prying. So he's giving us all the tea, right? And he tells us about this great book that he had. I forgot what was the idea. What was the idea? It was like, it was talking something about religion and like values, like Catholicism and values. It was like something very niche. And I thought it was a cool idea. I was like, all right, fine. Like I start asking him questions or whatever. And he goes, I forgot how it came up. He was like, oh, well, I just plugged the prompt into ChatGPT and it only took me a few days. And I look at my friend, I don't want to say friend because we work together and I don't have that type of rapport with her, but she cool as hell. Like, so she works on my team, but we have a really good rapport with each other. So I'm looking at her, I'm like, did he just say he wrote this book using ChatGPT? So that made me think. And she had told me she wanted to get into editing. So I suggested that maybe she get his information so she could get practice, more like a resume builder. I didn't want her, I kind of felt bad because I was like, maybe I'm being a little too pushy, but I'm like, you're an editor. I'm more of a writer. I don't edit for other people. Like people have asked me to and I say yes, but then I'd be like, nah, like, cause it's too much. It's a lot trying to do your own stuff and then do someone else's stuff. I don't know why people be asking me for shit all the time. I'd be like, first I say yes, then I'd be like, this is probably not realistic. Like I probably have too much shit on my plate. I just like helping people and I don't like telling them no. That's the people pleaser in me. So I told her to get his info. So she did. And then after he walked away, we was talking and we was like, is that legit? So then we were really getting fired up about this. So I was like, bro, I gotta make a video about this. I don't think that it's right. I think if you're using it to get started, but not to create the content for you. And what's interesting, oh bro, I feel so bad. There's somebody that I met, I'm not gonna say how I know them. There's somebody that I met that asked me to look over something that they made. And as soon as I read it, bro, I could tell something was off. I was like, this doesn't have the feeling, like the humanity in it. It doesn't have emotion. It doesn't have that signature, that flavor. Like, you know how I just read some of my work? Like it has me in it. It has my essence. Like your work should be an extension of you. And I did not feel that. It felt very robotic and like, here's step 1, here's step 2, here's step 3. No filler in between. And I was like, something is wrong. Even the cover page, like the cover art, there was like words blurred behind the main like bold or like the regular font. And I was like, something is not right. I couldn't put my finger on it. And I'm reading it and I was like, this isn't really for me. The concept was great or the idea was great, but I was like, the execution was just not giving. So literally later that night, or like maybe a little bit of time had passed because I was in our bedroom reading it. And my husband comes in and he picks it up and he's like, oh, this is AI. I said, God damn, like that's what I get for marrying a techie. And then he like takes it a step further. He like takes a couple pictures of like the actual text or the content and like runs it. I don't know what the name of the software, whatever it is, but it's like a software that can detect if it like AI assisted with creating it. And it like didn't say flat out yes, but it was like it kind of was like, it probably has some in there, but I can't confirm for sure. And I was just like, this person thought it was a good idea to ask a writer who does everything 100% themselves, takes their craft so seriously. Like, why would you even think to give this to someone else to review or to rate or critique? Like, I was like, that is such an insult to the craft. So I really wanted to talk about this. I don't think that artists should benefit from it if they're creating it using an outside source, especially if you're like really raking in profit for it. I was just like, should an author or artist or whoever, I guess I'm gonna say author because that's the line of work that I'm in, like author, writing, all that type of stuff. But I'm like, you should not get royalties and things like that if you didn't create it. Like, you can give it the idea, but ultimately that machine or that software has done the heavy lifting for you. And I was like, that's not what writing is supposed to be about. Like, that's a disservice to the craft, and that's a disservice to you as a creative. Like, I told you guys like it was last semester, because that was my last semester at Nova. We had this extra credit opportunity in my humanities class. Hold on one second. I just want to sip some water. So we had this extra credit opportunity in my humanities class, bro. And it was a really cool video. I'll have to see if I can put it in the link. My old ass probably gonna forget. But my teacher had put this video from, was it 60 Minutes? I think it was. And it was talking about this guy in Italy who had made this like robotic arm. He like reprogrammed it to be like a sculpting arm, like a sculpting like assistant basically. And it was like sculpting or like adding tweaks to existing sculptures, like really famous or prominent ones. And then it was making carbon copies of ones that already exist. I'm not really in the art scene or anything like that, but like something like a Michelangelo or like a Da Vinci or something like that. And people were on the fence. So they were trying to figure out, they were interviewing different people, and some people were like, this is great because it cuts down on time, and sculpting is physically demanding, especially if you have injuries from sculpting before. Some of these guys have been doing this 30, 40 years. They probably have issues with their hands, their back, their feet, their legs, stuff like that. And then some people were like, this is an absolute disservice. One day we're not going to hear the ting, 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 noise. And they were like, what about the greats? Like, what would they say about this? They'd be rolling over in their grave. And we basically had to write our thought on it. And I was like, this is BS because it's taking a shortcut, and it shows that you only prioritize profit over productivity, or not profit over productivity, but product over originality, like innovation. And I think I said something like, it was interesting. The guy that made it, I don't remember his name, damn it. He was an Italian guy. He was like so sure. He was like, it increases productivity by like 300%. I just made that number up, but you get my gist. And he was like, a robot doesn't call out. It doesn't take vacation. It doesn't get sick. And I was like, but it doesn't. And it was interesting. He was like big upping the robot, but then it was like the robot can't reach those cracks and crevices that a human hand could. And I just thought that was so fascinating, because I was like, again, this shows why you need the original method of the art form. Like, I know I use a laptop when I create, but all my creativity is from up there, but in here, like it's in my heart, it's in my mind. Like, I do think it's connected to something higher than me, or above me, but I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like the fact that we have all these shortcuts, and I think it's like cheating almost on the craft. And I think it's just, I don't really like it. I don't know why. I feel like I had more to say. I think I posted about this on Facebook to see like what people thought. And some people were like, well, this one guy, he gave a really good example that was completely different from everyone else's. They were like, well, what if it's like a young writer who doesn't have money to hire like someone to do their cover art, and they get ChatGPT to do it? And I was like, okay, I could see that, because it is expensive, and a huge barrier for creatives is money. That and opportunity and like network. A lot of us don't have it like that. Like I told you guys, I think my work is gonna really help with that. And I'm not there because of that. I'm there because I actually want to work there, and it's a great place to work. But there's a lot of creative people. I met this one lady, she like does dance for like babies. Like, she had like a whole little mat with like different instruments and stuff. Like, it was so cool. And I was like, I would want to do something like this when I have a kid. Like, there's so many unique people who might know someone who might know someone. You just never know who you might run into. And it's not about getting things, but sometimes they might keep you in mind because you are a good person, and because you have a skill, and maybe you just need that one person to take you to the next level. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really like it. I don't use ChatGPT when I'm writing. Like, okay, let me back up. I use it to look for synonyms, or like to see how to clearly say something, but I don't deliberately steal from there, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I don't say, here's my idea, write this for me. I've never done that. I will never do that because I really take my craft so seriously. That's why I decided to go back to school, because this is all I dream about. This is what I've wanted to do for probably the last 20 years. Like, and I'm not that old. I'm only 30. I've probably wanted to do this since I was a child. Like, I don't know the specific age. I hear different things, like people from my past that I like went to school, like elementary school or middle school. They're like, oh yeah, you were always writing, always off in the corner. I would say probably like 3rd or 4th grade. I probably knew, probably 2nd or 3rd grade, like realistically, probably somewhere in there, maybe a little bit. I think I didn't know that there was like a term or a word or like a profession for it. But I think as soon as I could read and figured out, oh, people do this for a living, people can make money off of this, I was like, oh yeah, sign me the fuck up. Like, I want to write movies, I want to write shows, I want to write books, plays. I think I have a little bit of everything in me. And that's what I love about being creative, is the like flexibility, and you can dabble between so many mediums. Like, I had no idea. I've been writing like fucking fables. I told you I wrote sci-fi. I'm writing so many different things that I thought I would never do. Like, I just was like, oh, this is my lane, I'm gonna stay in it. But these assignments and these prompts are pulling different things out of me, and that's the thing I don't think a chat GPT could do. So I don't fucking know. Like, it doesn't have that heart, it doesn't have that. And there's like a certain vision you have when you're an artist, to translate what's in your head and put it on a piece of paper or a magazine or a book. Like, that is so unique. Like, I used to think that writing was just like such a simple skill, and I was like, not everybody can write, not everybody can string things together. A lot of the times I get opportunities because of the way I write, and I'm not bragging. I'm literally saying this honest to God truth. Like, I'll reach out to someone, I'm like, I have no rapport with him, but I'm just very honest, but I also try to be very professional. And like, just the way I say things, I really try to put like my best intentions, but like my purest intentions. And I think it comes across like it's very, not in a bragging way, but it comes across very genuine. And I think there's like heart and passion in it. And I think people really see it and they feel it. Like, for example, I had to, I had to reach out. Actually, I didn't have to. I decided to because I got advice to do it. But they were like, my faculty advisor for the journal, he was like, hey, because we meet once a week and he gives me like tips on like what to do next and stuff like that, and just making sure I'm on track. And he was like, you can reach out to some of the different colleges at George Mason to see if they'll help promote the call for submissions, because this was when we still needed submissions. The deadline has already passed. But he was like, you can reach out to the College of Engineering, you can reach out to the College of Early Childhood Development, or whatever the case may be. I think the way I wrote those emails and the way I came right out with it, but I was very kind, I was very professional, but like, hey, this would be a great opportunity. I really want to big up this student body, this part of the population. Oh yeah, we'll do it. We'll promote it on our social media. We already sent the flyer out. We'll put it in our newsletter. Like, and they didn't have to do that. They could have said no. Like, they don't know me from a can of paint. But again, I think it's just how you carry yourself, whether that's electronically, whether that's in person, some other medium. I really think that, again, that's why I don't think a chat GPT can. Now, okay, let me back up. I will use it to fine tune an email, but it's still my original idea. I think it just cleans it up. But I think even before that, before I even knew what it was or used it, I still was very good at being genuine and being professional and like having like that empathy and intention behind it. But I don't know. I was curious what you guys thought about people using AI to create. Do you think it takes away from the art form? Do you think it cheapens it? Do you think it enhances it in some ways? I'm sure there's cases where it has enhanced it and made it better. But I think ultimately, like, I'm not really for it, because again, I think there are so many of us who pour so much of our heart, our soul, our experiences, whether they're good, bad, indifferent, as my mom would say. Like, I don't think a computer can capture that. I really don't. But I don't know. I was trying to go somewhere deep with that, but I couldn't think of anything else to say. But let me know in the comments how you feel about it. Are you a creative? Do you use AI? School me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is a benefit. Let me know. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you and take care of yourselves. Bye.